morning, everyone.
Morning.
If you guys have your homework, you guys can get your homework out. If not, it's okay. If you have your homework submitted, I have it on my screen. So I'll show you some examples I made real quick. So my example number one, my dad pushed me on my bike to make me go faster. Same thing with pulled. My sister pulled the door open to get inside her room. Pulled. Okay, not pull. Make sure you add the ed. Okay, but everyone else's sentences looked good. Okay, these are just Mr. Connor's examples. Okay, guys, so what we're going to learn about today. Let's read about what we're going to learn about today. Let's have, is it Riku? Can you please read the first one? The first, or is this Raiku? Riku, there we go. Can you read the first bullet for us?
When you see a strong force or a weak force.
Yeah. And then let's have Thomas. Can you read the second bullet point for us? Thomas.
How do dog sleds move across the snow?
Okay, and Nick. Can you read the third sentence? Nick.
What technology does a dog sled team need to use to win a race?
Good job reading, Nick. That was a big word, technologies. Yeah, so we're going to be learning about all three things in this class. First, let's look at your book. This is a question from your book. I'll read the directions. Look at the picture. Can you tell which actions most likely show a push and which actions show a pull? Identify each action as a push or a pull. To show Casper, can you choose a letter for me and tell me if it's a push or a pull?
A.
A. And is this a push or a pull?
Pull.
Okay, you are correct. He is pulling a wagon. So we have the word pull. There we go. So A is pull. Very good job. Lily, can you do another letter for me? Any letter you want.
Push.
Yeah, but what letter? Is it B?
Yes.
Okay, you're correct. B is a push. Let's have Ben. Could you do our next letter, Ben? How about C? He is throwing a baseball. He is throwing a baseball. Do you think this is a push or a pull?
Push.
It is a push. It's kind of like kicking a football. It doesn't seem like a push, but it would be considered a push. So this is a push. Good job. And then let's have Mia. Can you do the last letter for us? D. Yeah, what's she doing with the stroller? That's called a stroller. What is she doing with it? Is she pushing it or pulling it?
Pushing.
Yeah, so we're going to write the word, we're going to write the word push, okay? Text, she is pushing the stroller. So we'll write the word push. She is pushing a stroller. The boy is pulling a tortoise. The father is pushing the baby. The baseball player or the guy or the boy is throwing a baseball, which is a push. And then the mom is pushing the stroller. So I have a question for you guys. Which one of these do you think took the strongest force to do? Which one of these do you think took the strongest force to do? Who thinks they know? Thomas?
I think it's when you push to throw the baseball.
Okay, the baseball. That's a great answer. Does anyone else have an idea of what it might be? I see another hand. Nick, what do you think?
Can you say again?
I think a boy that pull a wagon had a tortoise on it.
This one I believe is correct too. This one took the strongest force. The question was, which one of these would take the strongest force? And I think it would be pulling the tortoise. Do you guys think the tortoise is going to be heavy or light? Heavy or light?
Heavy. Turtle.
What do you think, Nick?
I think heavy.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be very heavy. Tortoises are very, very heavy. Okay. And what do you guys think took the least amount of force? The smallest amount of force? Tony, what do you think? A, B, C, or D? Which one do you think the smallest? C? I would agree. C probably took the smallest. So I'll write this. I can write this down to make it a little bit easier to see. So this one took the largest force, and this one probably took the smallest force. That's because the baseball is super small. That's because the baseball is super small. The bigger something is, the larger the force it takes to move it. Okay? If I have something light, like this piece of plastic, it takes a very tiny force to move it, or throw it, or push it, or pull it. So the bigger something is and the heavier something is, the harder it is to move. And sometimes it won't move. Think about when you do a push-up. If anyone here has tried to do a push-up, when you're pushing up, does the floor move or do you move? Does the floor move or do you move when you do a push-up?
I move.
You move because you can't move the floor. Imagine if you could move the entire floor every time you did a push-up. It's too big. It's too big and too heavy. Okay. Good job, guys. Okay, so today for the rest of the day, we're going to be looking at dog sleds. We're actually going to be looking at dog sleds. Okay. There are races that happen in Alaska, in Europe. They usually take places. What type of weather is there outside? What type of weather is it? It's sunny, but what's all over this? What's all over the ground? What is all over that ground? Leo, what's all over the ground?
Snow.
Snow. And what is the guy holding? What's the adult male holding in the picture?
Sled.
A sled. Exactly. You can use a sled in the snow. If there was no snow, he would have to have wheels on his sled. He would have to have wheels on his sled. So do you guys think, do these races take place in somewhere that is warm or somewhere that is cold? Somewhere that is warm or somewhere that is cold? What's up, Pony? What do you think?
I think it takes place with somewhere that is cold.
Yeah, exactly. We would say the climate is cold. Let's have someone, I would like someone to read the entire first paragraph. So we have a special delivery. Who can read the first 3 sentences? Let's have Alex. Can you read the first 3 sentences, please? Make sure you're at your computer, Alex. Read the first 3 sentences. The dog sled team.
The dog sled team has a heavy load to deliver. It will take all of the team working together to move the sled. The whole team can push or pull with more force than if only part of the team help.
Thank you. And then let's read. Who can read the caption under the picture? Who can read the caption under the picture? The sentence under the picture. Let's have Tony. Can you read it for us?
If the dogs push the people, the sled may move, but not very long.
Okay, Tony, do you think this is what they do to have a race?
No!
Mr.
No.
Connor,
No, I don't think so either. Yeah, what's your question?
I know why they cannot move for long,
Why not?
because the dog cannot stand for long with 2 feet. They
Yeah,
can,
are
so they-
dogs good at walking on 2 feet? No.
so they pull.
Yeah, they probably pull. We'll see. Let's keep on going in our books, okay? We're gonna keep on going in our books and see. I think, okay, if they're gonna pull, let's see them pulling. Okay, now they're pulling. Now they're pulling. Who can read the sentence under the picture? Now they're pulling. Let's have Hi Long Potato. Could you read this for me?
If the people pull the sled, it may move, but not very fast.
And do you think this picture is correct? The humans are pulling the sled?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see if you're correct. And then we have our last picture. We have our last picture. Let's have Tuyen. Can you please read the last sentence? If the dogs
If the dogs
apply
apply a force to the sled as a team, it will move far and fast.
Very good. So guys, do you think A, B, or C is correct? I'm going to unmute everyone, and I'd like you guys to yell your answer. I'd like you guys to yell your answer. So A, we'll look at them one more time. A, where the humans and the dogs push the sled. B is the humans pull the sled, and C is the dogs pull the sled. A, B, or C? Ready, set, go. A, B, or C? Okay, you guys all know the answer. C is correct. C is correct. C is the correct answer. We'll give it a check mark. We'll give it a check mark. Okay. I'd like you guys now to take your piece of paper and your pencil, and I'll give you 2 minutes to write a sentence. Write your ideas about the best way for the dog sled team to move the sled. Explain whether they should push it or pull it. Now write a sentence. Okay, guys, I think that's enough time. I'm gonna call on a few people. If you did not have a piece of paper and pencil, it is okay for today. Just make sure you bring it next class.
Can I read my sentence?
Yeah, you can read your sentence if you want. Make sure you raise your hand next time, okay? Don't just
Okay.
call out. Thank you.
The dog should not push the sled because they cannot stand with 2 feet for long. They could pull because they have many dogs, and the dog force is larger than the sled force, so they can pull the sled.
Very good explanation. Very good sentence. Let's have. I'm gonna have Tony. Can you read?
It is C because the number A is the dog cannot stand with 2 feet like people. Number B is there's not many people, so it would be very slow. The sled will go very slow. Number C is right because the dog is many, so people could no. So the sled can go fast, and the horse can be big and strong.
Whoa, that was a lot of writing. You even told me why the other letters were wrong. Really good job.
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch a video. We're gonna watch a video now. Let's make sure everyone's muted. So our video is just gonna be the start of a dog race. So this is the video of the dogs pulling the sled. Let's watch the dogs pull the sled.
30 seconds, 30!
Let's finish watching the video and then I can answer some questions, okay?
Ready up, let's go! 22! Go!
Okay, here they go. Wow, they're going really fast. And you can see each sled is getting pulled by 4 dogs. Each sled has 4 dogs. And look how fast they're moving.
Good dogs.
And you can see even the human is trying to help them and kick the ground. See, this guy's trying to push the ground. He's pushing the ground behind him. Okay, guys. Okay, let's move on though. The last thing we have to talk about today, and I'll read over it just so we can get through it so you guys can do your homework. It takes more than a team of strong dogs to win a modern dog sled race. Look at the pictures and read about engineering that can increase a team's chance of winning. The first picture says the dog sled must be made out of lightweight materials to making it easier for the team to pull. Remember, the lighter an object is, the easier it is to apply a force. It takes less force. Just like it takes less force to pick up my remote, it takes less force to pick up my remote than it takes to pick up my chair. To pick up my chair, it takes less force. The lighter something is, the less force it takes. And in the second picture, dog sled races often go through wilderness areas. This kind of means like the forest. A GPS device helps racers find their way to the finish line. Okay. Yeah, all the sleds are going to have different types of forces they need to move. Think about it this way. The sled has a certain weight to it, but also the human. If I put one of you guys on the sled would go super fast because you guys are much lighter than Mr. Connor. If Mr. Connor got on the sled would move much slower. Look at the picture on the screen. This dog is pulling a lot of stuff on that sled. It's going to take a lot or a big force to move that sled. Okay. Now, let's go over what we have learned today. When would you use a strong force or a weak force? Susie, when would you use a strong force?
We will use a strong force when we move a big object.
Very good. And Susie, when would we use a weak force?
We use a weak force when we move the lighter object.
Those are great answers, Susie. Good job. And then our second question, how do dog sleds move across the snow? Can you read the sentence, Lion? Lion, read the sentence for me.
Dogs are trained to pull the sled across the snow.
Good job, Lion. Okay, and the last one. What technologies does a dog sled team need to use to win a race? So, dog sleds need to be light. They need to be light, so they take less force to pull. They also use a GPS to track their location during the race. GPS stands for Global Positioning System. This is what is in your phone or your parents' phone to show you where to go. Okay, now your homework for tonight. I'd like you guys to do research to find out about some other technologies related to dog sled racing. I want you guys to Google, or you guys can, if you guys have a book on it, you can use a book, but you guys can Google some other technologies related to dog sled racing. What do these people use to win races? You can talk about the dogs. You can talk about technologies with the dogs. You can talk about technologies with the sled, or you can use examples like the GPS, or you can use, but make sure you look up your own technology, okay? You have to choose one of them. Choose one technology, and then prepare a 1-minute talk that explains how or why that technology is used. Just 1 minute, and submit your video.
Bye-bye, Mr. Corner. See
Bye-bye,
you
guys. If you want to leave, you can. Bye-bye. But if you have a question, you can say.
Oh, I don't have questions. Thank you for the class.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone.